1.381 seconds, that's the margin. Cam Waters won a NASCAR Road Course race on American soil in a truck he'd barely driven against blokes who've been turning right their whole lives. Now, here's the bit nobody wants to say out loud, mates. There's another Kiwi over there who's already been crowned the greatest road course racer NASCAR has ever seen. Shane van Gisbergen, 8 Cup wins, a bloke who lapped half the field at Mexico City by 16.5 seconds. So the question isn't whether these two are good. We know they're bloody fast. The real question, the one that's had the paddock whispering, is this. If you put Cam Waters and Shane van Gisbergen on the same road course, on the same day, in the same machinery, who actually walks away the winner? Because one of these two is the master, and one of them might just be the bloke who takes the crown. By the end of this video, I'm giving you a verdict, a real one, not a fence sit. Let's decode it. First, let's set the scene properly, because the mainstream media keeps getting this lazy. Shane van Gisbergen didn't sneak into NASCAR. He kicked the front door off its hinges. Chicago 2023, first Cup start, street course he'd never seen. He wins it. Second bloke in history to sweep pole and race in a debut weekend, and it wasn't a fluke. Fast forward, Sonoma. SVG leads 97 laps. 97, that's the most laps led on a road course in the Cup Series since Cale Yarborough back at Riverside in the 70s. We're talking numbers that hadn't been touched in nearly 50 years. The man is a machine, tied with Tony Stewart for the all-time road course win count. 8 and counting. But wait, here's what that fairy tale conveniently leaves out. SVG had a running start. He spent years in the Supercars championship being pushed every single weekend by the exact bloke we're comparing him to today, Cam Waters. These two aren't strangers, mates. They're old enemies. Back in Supercars, Waters and Van Gisbergen went at each other like two dogs over one bone. Winton, Waters holds off a charging SVG by inches. Another opener, Waters wins by 0.03 of a second, not 0.03. That's not luck. That's a bloke who knows how to win a knife fight at 250 Ks an hour. So when Waters rocks up to Lime Rock in a Craftsman truck and wins by 1.381 seconds, leading 49 laps, the Americans acted shocked. The rest of us, we just nodded. Course he did. He's been sparring with the master for a decade. So here's your first real question, and I want you thinking about it. Is SVG genuinely better, or did he just get on the plane first? Right, let's actually decode how these two drive, because they do it completely differently, and this is where it gets ripper. Start with SVG. His weapon is his footwork, heel and toe. Now, if you don't know what that is, imagine trying to brake, steer, and change gears all at once, using one foot to press the brake and blip the throttle at the same time. It's like patting your head, rubbing your belly, and doing your taxes, all while the car's trying to kill you. SVG makes it look boring. That's the tell of a master. He rolls his right foot across both pedals, matches the revs perfectly on every downshift, and the car just settles. No drama, no lockups. He's not fighting the car, he's conducting it. Now Waters, different animal entirely. Cam Waters is a late breaker, aggressive. He carries the car deeper into the corner than the bloke next to him thinks is possible, hauls it up hard, and dares you to try and match him. Where SVG is a scalpel, Waters is a machete, and on a track full of American oval racers who break early because that's what they've done their whole careers, Waters is stealing 3 or 4 car lengths every single corner. It's like watching someone thread a needle while everyone else is still looking for the thread. Quick one, and I'll be straight with you. If you reckon raw technical skill should beat a big American budget, if you're sick of the mainstream telling you these two Trans-Tasman blokes are just novelties, then join the nation. Hit subscribe. If that's it, it lets us keep decoding the drivers the big networks ignore. No fluff, just the truth. Right. Back to the fight. So why genuinely can't the Americans keep up with these two specifically? It comes down to how they were raised. Racing raised, I mean. Your typical NASCAR star grew up going left. Ovals, super speedways. It's about commitment, throttle control, and running the wall at 300 Ks. Different sport, beautiful, brutal, but different. Waters and SVG grew up on Bathurst, on Mount Panorama, a track that climbs a mountain, drops off a cliff, and has walls close enough to shake hands with. Down under, you learn car control or you learn to walk home. That's the edge. It's not that the Americans are slow, it's that these two have 10,000 more corners in the bank. Every apex, every wet street, every millimeter of curb, they've banked it since they were kids. But here's the problem with crowning either of them too early. We've never truly seen them race each other in NASCAR. Not properly, not the same car, same day, both fully dialed in. SVG's dominance came in the Cup Series. Waters' magic came in a truck. Different machinery, different tires, different everything. So every armchair expert screaming that SVG is untouchable, they're comparing a heavyweight to a middleweight and pretending it's the same ring. And that's the open loop I promised you at the start. So let me close it. Here's my honest call, mates. And I've sat with the numbers. Right now today, Shane van Gisbergen is the ultimate road course assassin. The 97 laps led at Sonoma, the 16-second beltings, 8 Cup wins. You don't argue with that resume. He's not the best because he's Kiwi. He's the best because the data says so. But Cam Waters is the only man on earth built to take it from him. Not an American, not a European road course specialist, a bloke from Mildura who's already beaten SVG by 0.03 of a second when it mattered most. Give Waters the same seat, the same season, the same reps, and that crown is genuinely up for grabs. The master hasn't been beaten yet, but the challenger is the realest threat he's ever faced, and he speaks the same accent. So here's where you come in. We're building something here. The biggest home on the internet for Trans-Tasman racing fans, a place where these two get the respect the mainstream won't give them. If you want to be part of that nation, subscribe, drop your verdict in the comments, Waters or SVG, master or challenger, and if you want to see exactly why SVG's Mexico City demolition still has NASCAR shaking, that video's right there. Go on. We'll see you in the nation. The crown's still SVG's for now.